Hey CX builders, Wes here. Just modeled this nose gear for the CX7 in Solidworks, so I thought I'd show a little bit about that. I'm new to Solidworks, so I'm still learning, but this took about an hour to do. It's really simple. You just, it's the gear nose is made from a 5-inch square tube of aluminum. So you shape the front, you slice the back like at an angle. So this down here is the bottom, and then this is the front, and then the nose strut or the nose gear strut goes rotates here. I didn't see on the plans for the end stops for the rotation on the. 'Cause the nose gear is free castering, but it has end stops. I think 45 degrees. But I didn't see on the plans where those were. There's a picture of them in the construction manual. I'm sure it's pretty straightforward, but once I might come back in here and add those to this model. There's also this aluminum bulkhead in here, or former. I guess it's not a former, but it's just got two flanges, one on each side, and then it's screwed into the aluminum. And then you have these spacers for the wheel pants, and then I believe these are threaded holes, so I'll have to tap those for the wheel pant bolts or screws, so you can attach your wheel pants and pop them off pretty easily. And then your axle goes through here. So a pretty simple part. Oh, and your bushings up here. I've got those modeled in here. I just Googled the bushing number and got the exact dimensions. The exact dimensions aren't on the plans, but David puts the the part number for the bushing on there, and so you just Google it and you can get the exact dimensions. This one is taller. I think this bushing is taller than it needs to be, so you just have to cut it down. One thing I like to do. I come from a 3D background, so I like to take parts into Blender and render them. Blender is a free 3D program you can download. Anybody can grab it. Blender. Just Google Blender. The nice thing about Blender, it's got a really nice ray tracer, which means you could set up your parts or your plane models and render them using really high quality renders if you wanted. I plan to, once I get the entire airplane modeled up, I'm not planning to do all the skins, so I'll probably end up having a skeleton of the whole airplane. What I'd like to do is render that, and you take a photo of your driveway, render the airplane in your driveway. I know that sounds silly, but that's what I'm excited to do that. This is you just export from SolidWorks as a STL file, which Blender can import. Because when you're in STL, you're basically in polygonal space, which is what Blender likes. Uh, and Blender has a really nice real-time renderer called EV, and this is the EV. So if you got a decent computer, you can and I don't really have any lights set up, so it looks kind of boring. But if you have a setup scene, it will look really good. If you switch to the Blender's ray tracer called Cycles, Cycles is really compute intensive, but it actually does a pretty good job. And Cycles it's a ray tracer, so you get a lot of benefits of bounced light. So like all ray tracing uses, it basically simulates millions of particles of light just bouncing around your scene. So you'll see light bounce off this surface and bounce back here. So you get these really nice realistic looking renders. So I'm excited to get this CX7 modeled up and rendered in Blender. It's going to take me several weeks. It's a lot of work, just because I'm new to SolidWorks, so it takes a lot of effort to learn CAD when you've really never done CAD in your entire life. I've only ever done 3D polygonal modeling. It's a totally different ball game, but uh, luckily I've got a brother that knows SolidWorks really well, so he's helping me out a little bit. But you can't beat a CAD program for modeling mechanical parts. It just makes it so much easier. And plus, when you're done, you'll have a full model of the airplane. So when you're actually building the airplane, you don't even need plans. You just have a big TV out in your shop. And as you build, you just pull the model up on a computer on your big TV, and that's basically how you build the airplane. So you don't have to fumble around, and everything is exact. Like there's no question about how things fit together. And if you make your parts the right size, everything should fit. So I'm pretty excited about that. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks again.